Hello my little creeps and critters, my name is Creepy Cam, and welcome to my channel, where we discuss the creepy, the kooky, and the outright spooky, all while enjoying delicious food. Make yourself some popcorn, sit back and relax, and let's get into the story. Gurgles and Bugman. When you're 5, your mind lacks the experience to make informed judgments, or to connect things that aren't obvious. Over the years, the details get fuzzy and forgotten. Speaking with my parents the other day, they cleared away the cobwebs bearing the story. I remember now, much too clearly, the story of Gurgles and Bugman. I just started kindergarten that year. Everyone's a friend when you're 5, so I had no shortage of classmates. But coming from a poor family, I didn't get to see much of them outside of school. My parents spent all their waking hours trying to make ends meet, and didn't have time to ferry me from house to house. So, I spent my early years mostly keeping to myself, playing with random assortments of knicks and knacks from the shelf of my room. Being short of money gave my family a habit of hoarding, so they hated throwing anything out. One particular item on the shelf was a small, old-fashioned TV set, a wooden veneer box about 2 feet wide by a foot tall. It had a curved glass screen that took up half the front panel. Besides the screen was a large chrome dial used to switch channels. At the top sat an antenna formed by 2 terribly twisted wires. When my boredom made me turn it on, I usually just got static and snow on that glowing black and white screen. I'd twist the heavy clinking dial, hoping to pick up some local broadcast. Mostly, it would be some ghostly images or incoherent sound fragments, but one channel was always crystal clear. It was the Gurgles and the Bugman show. Gurgles was a clown, but not a common one. He wore a thin black suit that draped over his tall, skinny body, with a matching tie, and oversized novelty clown shoes to complete his distinctive outfit. His pupils were completely black, like polished, ebony marbles, with no trace of white around them. Black face paint around those eyes and across his cheeks and mouth, making him look like a manic, grinning skeleton. It was only the crazy crop of curly hair sprouting off the sides of his head that gave him a more human look. As much as Gurgles freaked me out, Bugman scared me more. He was short and round, like a hunchbacked dwarf with a dark cape. He had prosthetics covering his eyes to make him look like a fly, and a mouth that rotated 90 degrees and opened from side to side. The show itself was like a candid camera, with pranks played on unsuspecting people. It would always start with Gurgle and Bugman, hidden away in someone's home. Gurgles would face the camera, staring at you. His bony fingers touched his lips. When an unexpected star of the show came into view, a laugh track would begin to play. You would see them go about their nightly routine, oblivious to the conspiracy that Gurgles and Bugman had involved us in. You'd see them making dinner, or in the lounge watching TV with their families, or quietly doing their homework. Then watch as Gurgle and Bugman stole their pen, or moved their glass, or made things disappear behind their back. The camera angles would change as Gurgle and Bugman shifted their hiding place from the dark corners of the room to the cupboards, to the ceiling, to under the furniture, all the while looking back at you and winking. The closer they got, the louder the laughter from the soundtrack became. Eventually, when everyone went to sleep, a victim would be chosen for their pranks. Waiting in the closet or under the bed, once their victims fell asleep, Bugman would crawl out and gently climb in beside them. His jaw would open sideways, and out would come a sharp straw that he'd stick in the person's neck. This always paralyzed their victim, because sometimes you could see them struggle if they woke up and saw Gurgle and Bugman on top of them. The laugh track would then be extra loud. Those few times the victims woke up, Gurgles would make a face at the camera while the audience laughed, and Bugman would use his straw to drink from the person's neck. When the victim stopped struggling After a few minutes, the laughter would turn to claps and cheering. With Bugman finished, Gurgle's face would fill the whole screen with his impossibly wide, sharp-toothed grin. Then he'd whisper, "See you again soon." The way those all-black eyes pierced through the screen always gave me chills. I hated the show, but would always be too afraid to go near the TV while it was running. One day, the TV mysteriously disappeared from my room. My parents told my 5-year-old self that they had sold it to pay for some bills. I accepted that without question. I was kinda glad it was gone. But yesterday, when I asked them about the TV again, they exchanged nervous glances, then filled in some missing gaps from my childhood. Halfway through that year, Dirk, a classmate I didn't even know very well, had died in a horrific circumstance. He was murdered in his bed with a stab wound in his neck. No evidence of a break-in was ever found, so his distraught parents were taken into custody as primary suspects. They denied all allegations against them. At the time, Miss Nolan, my teacher, told our class I'd apparently explained to her that Dirk couldn't be dead because I saw him and his family on the Gurgles and Bugman show the day before. When Miss Nolan mentioned to my parents what I'd said, they had immediately taken the TV from my room, driven it to a junkyard, and had it burnt to nothing but ashes and molten metal. That TV was in my room because it had always been broken. It was never plugged in the whole time it sat on my shelf. That TV was in my room because it had always been broken. It was never plugged in the whole time it sat on my shelf. Whatever I saw on that screen, it wasn't from a station. So, that's my story of Gurgles and Bugman. But I'm not sure if that's really the end though. After all, do Gurgles and Bugman still perform their nightly show for some unexpected viewer somewhere in the world? And if so, who will be their next star? Thank you all so much for watching this video. Credits go out to Won't Think Straight over on the Creepypasta Wiki. Go jump over there if you like all of the creepy, kooky, and spooky. Thank you all so much again. If you liked this video, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell if you'd like to receive notifications for any of my other upcoming videos. Thank you all so much. Hope you all have a spectacularly spooky day. And goodbye. Okay guys, I think I seriously underestimated the size of these hot dogs. I got like extra big hot dogs, so there's actually 1.5 hot dog sausages in each roll. Anyways, I'm saying goodbye now. Keep it cute, keep it creepy. Hope you enjoyed. Bye!